The United Nations says Costa Rica needs help. The small Central American country is overwhelmed with thousands of neighboring Nicaraguans crossing the border. They are fleeing a violent government crackdown in their own country. Correspondent Wyatt Goolsby has more from the State Department. Good evening, Wyatt.
Good evening, Lauren. Officials here are warning their counterparts around the world about what they call a deteriorating situation in Nicaragua. They say it's directly impacting its neighbors, like Costa Rica. The State Department is condemning the political violence, human rights violations, and attacks on Catholic parishes that's forcing thousands to flee. Nicaraguans are coming by the busload, so much so that Costa Rica immigration authorities can't keep up. Many who are entering are young people. This migrant says they're fleeing Nicaragua's national police because they're going after university students like her. Not everyone is willing to show their face on camera, and some worry about retaliation. The number of Nicaraguans leaving has jumped this past month since President Daniel Ortega's police and paramilitary forces worked to clear the last of the barricades built by protesters. Since April, human rights groups estimate more than 400 people have been killed. Ortega claims that number is under 200. The United Nations says in the last 3 months, 8,000 asylum claims have been registered in Costa Rica, with 15,000 more Nicaraguans trying to register.
We are also strengthening our presence in Costa Rica's northern border region, and together with the Costa Rican government, other UN agencies, and our NGO partners, are gearing up our response capacity to provide immediate protection and assistance to thousands of Nicaraguan refugees and asylum seekers.
Still, many who are in the country continue to protest President Ortega's crackdown. Catholic clergy and lay people are standing in support of the church, who has taken the lead in mediating the conflict. Monsignor Silvio Fonseca says President Ortega hasn't changed, adding this has been a systematic persecution since Ortega rose to power in the 1980s. President Ortega has called for other international organizations to help foster talks between the government and protesters. Ortega and other high-ranking government officials don't trust the country's Catholic bishops. They think the bishops are trying to overthrow them. The clergy members say they're trying to serve the least, or the most vulnerable, we should say, and not get rid of the government. Lauren?
Wyatt, I understand this violence in Nicaragua is causing concern throughout all of Latin America.
That's right, Lauren. Tomorrow, the Organization of American States, which has a place here in Washington, D.C., has called a special meeting with all of its permanent members. That includes Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Peru, and the United States to talk about the deteriorating situation. Lauren?
Correspondent Wyatt Goolsby reporting from the State Department. Thank you, Wyatt.